I want to feel the flexibility in his foot. I want to just feel where is it likely to be tight. I want to feel bands, and I want to feel any crystallization. And if things are going to go in nice and easy, let's get them in nice and easy to start with. And we want to warm the area up too. So we want to also feel for the temperature of the feet. Okay, so if the feet are cold, we don't want to go straight into really pokey kind of things. We want to get some circulation happening here first. Even if they're not, it's still not good. I don't think it's great to start with tools, especially not a chopstick. It's a bit of a shock. Yeah. So I usually do things like pull the toes. And immediately, as soon as I try and pull this toe, I'm like, whoa, this is really tight. It doesn't want to move at all. Yeah? Does anybody want to have a feel of that? Yeah, I think you guys have all felt it, right? We can also see that his toe is curling. Do you see how his big toe is sort of curling to the side there? All right, that shows me right away that he's very tight in here. And that's gonna lead to tension in his delta band, okay? So I think we're gonna have a lot of tightness on the side of this big toe here, all right? But the whole thing is really jammed in there. So when I'm thinking about what's my plan, this joint here is such an important joint, in my opinion, in the foot. It's one of the most important. But with Shane in particular here, I'm finding that the big toe is very, very tight. I am noticing that his little toe is somewhat curling around there. Whenever I see that again, I'm thinking he's probably got quite a lot of tension on this side of his little toe here. We can see is that some tinea that we've got in there that we got to be a bit careful of?
Shouldn't be.
Okay.
Probably just,
Bit of something. We'll just be aware of it. And then I'm thinking that the upper little toe band is going to be tight, which it is. It's like a steel cable kind of coming up through here. It's all really very tight. Okay, so again, with his foot there, we're looking at quite a lot of tightness all over the place. So then I can go, well, where should I start? I would think, let's start with the big toe. Let's get the tension out of his big toe. And my first objective will be, I'd like to see this joint loosen up. All right, and that could take me some time. So I'm gonna start with this tool. Would you mind just putting my glasses over there near that water bottle? Thank you. And I'll start on this side, but then I'm gonna do this side and I'm gonna do in here. Similar to what I was showing you last time. But again, I'm paying a bit more attention to the reflexology aspects of it. But at the same time, mostly I'm just wanting to loosen him up a little bit. Can you feel that at all there, Shane?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Bit crusty, yeah?
It's just so tight. Okay, so I want to warm him up a little bit before I get too in there because obviously it's quite intense.
How do you find when you're doing someone that hasn't come in before and you start using chopsticks? And you've got to obviously go in a bit of explanation and tell them because it's a bit of a different type of...
That's right. A lot of it really depends on, like I was talking about earlier, do people give you a green light, a red light, or a yellow light? And if how much trust they have in you that they're respecting the fact that you know what's going to help them. And then again, a lot of that depends on what kind of an explanation you've given to them. So if you've traced their tension down, you might have gone, oh, well, you're very tight through here, you're very tight through here, it's coming from here, this is all coming from here. And then they're gonna go, okay, so as long as they understand that, yes, I'm tight here, and I wanna get better, and I respect your knowledge and authority, we've got the go, But so whether you achieve that in one session right away, or whether that takes you 5, before you there. But I think Shane is quite aware, because he's, you know, obviously we've been discussing this, that his feet are very tight. And you can feel this is just really shockingly tight through here. And where it's shockingly tight, we're expecting that's going to be where it's uncomfortable. So we know Shane has quite a high pain threshold, and obviously, you know, likes good deep massage. So, but we're still going to work within so that it's not overwhelming for him. How's that out of 10 for you, Shane? Some of these points.
Probably about 9 at the moment.
Okay. So again, I'm going to just hold that spot there, which is quite an important spot. And again, in reflexology, this is going to relate to the upper brain, or even in Vedic thing, we could say it's going to relate to the crown chakra, because it's right at the very top here. So quite an important spot, actually, in here.
So just to hold it for...
I'm just letting it hold because it's energetically very charged. So I'm gonna hold that for a second. And notice what I'm doing with the toe is that I'm twisting it back to the way it should be as well at the same time. So I'm pushing in here and out here because it's going this way. So I'm wanting it to come back this way. And then I'm holding where it's charged. And again, I'm just feeling that amount where before he's gonna tighten up against me, okay? And I'm gonna encourage him to take a deep breath. And then I'm gonna hold that spot there as well. Can you feel that at all, Shane?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And then I'm going to come into here and do the same. And again, we're watching that breath to make sure that he's not just going to like tighten up and not breathe. So that we're just working at, you know, there's quite a big difference between working at a 9 and working at an 11. 11 is like too much because the person's going to go, well, they can't breathe into it. We could start a massage, like if we're feeling like the person, it's too much for them, could start with the head, relax them a bit, get them breathing. But so far, Shane's still managing to sort of breathe into this. Now what I'm going to do, just did a little bit of warm up, and now I'm going to really twist his toe back in the direction that it should be. All right, so can you see that? I'm twisting it, and then what I'm gonna do is move it this way while having it twisted. And that's gonna start to help free it up a little bit more. Then I'm gonna keep it and I'm gonna twist it a little bit more. And again, right up to where that's his maximum. And then I could come in again with a thumb, or this is where I could use even this tool, where I could start to come in here and work down the edge a bit more. If there is a little bit of moisture, I could actually use this to slide through here. Can you feel that spot there, Shane?
Yep.
And under here, I feel a lot of grittiness, yeah? Like sand or something, but it's not sand, obviously, it's crystals or, okay? And of course, in reflexology, that's going to come down and start to almost relate to close to his neck. Still in his head, but getting closer to the neck area, which he's had quite a few problems with as well. I can also use this to kind of caress down through here. It just gives it a bit of variety from the point of the chopstick to also then flushing out. And again, just saves my hands from doing this. I could do this with my hands, but especially on Shane, he's not the easiest guy to sort of work on, right? So you can see we're just caressing through here.
I don't think he'd call it that.
Yeah, I think he's got some alternative word to describe. And then we can come back in and again find on this side, this spot here. And making sure that he's able to breathe so that even if it's a 9.8, it's still just within his capacity to breathe, yeah? And I'm just holding that while he breathes into it. I'm even gonna come up here a little bit more and get it out of there. And then into here. So all of this is going to relate to his face, his head, and his brain, and his jaw, and that sort of area through here. All right, and again, turning it, twisting it, and then moving it this way.
Did you say a majority of people have issues with their big toe?
Yeah. Big toe, to me, is probably one of the most important areas of the human body to work. Okay, and especially when we're looking at foundational work of correcting foundations, big toes are imperative. That's why I often, even though I wouldn't say I necessarily start a massage with the big toe, because I would often relax the person first or do other things, but from a really restructuring point of view, I start with the big toe in many cases. As I come into the bottom of his big toe, I can use this other tool, which is a bit broader, and I can get right back into here and coming into here. Can you still feel that, Shane?
Yep. I found last night when I was using a lot of crustiness around that ball of the foot.
Yeah.
And that,
And we can even follow that from in here as well. Oh, that's so tight.
big toe sacrum,
Yeah, I would say that's adding to the big toe sacrum, because the big toe belly is going to be more here. Big toe sacrum is going to come in through here more. And again, too precise for that one, so I'm going to come back in here. I just like to give him a little rest in between. That's why I vary, even though I'm working on different bands, because I know that this is quite, you could even describe this as being somewhat uncomfortable. Would you say this is somewhat uncomfortable, Shane? Yeah.
You don't want to try the other side?
In some ways, obviously when we're working at high levels of intensity, sometimes it's better just have one foot done at a time, otherwise it's a bit much. And again, I can use this to sort of slide through here.
It's amazing actually the amount of feeling it brings in.
Yeah, that's right.
What do you reckon, there's 60 years of tension sitting there?
I think so. If somebody's got very dry skin, we would use the slightest bit of cream through here with this tool. But he's on that borderline. I think we can still get away with it. You can see right in that spot there, again, near that calloused sort of area. Calluses often cover a lot of tension.
I found last night I was working on my toes and feet, and it was like an oil was coming out of my feet. It was really weird. It didn't need any lubrication. It was self-lubricating feet.
Interesting. A lot of people get like a cold sweat through their feet too when you...
Am I in the shadow there? I hope I'm not making a video of it.
You're fine.
Yeah.
It's more of a negative.
caressing over this area. Just trying to move some of this congestion here. And you're not worried about them thanking you in the middle of the massage? I think that's an unrealistic expectation. That's not what you were thinking at the moment, was it, Shane?
Oh, what, thanks?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, good.
Tell you what, you can feel the tension in it, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, you got some tension there. All right, again, stretching now. I'm going to come into here. And again, just turning and really trying to get that joint to start to work better. Get a little click there. And some. And here I can even use my thumb a little bit. Again, he's just that tough that it's very hard for me to use my hands on him. I can use a different point to this tool. That's why I like this tool so much, is we can always get in there a bit like this. Again, I can stabilize it a bit if I feel like I'm being pushed off. And we can start to experiment with some of the tools that Shane made himself.
Is it pointed?
Yeah.
So don't like too gung-ho.
Oh,
Yeah. You've done a good job with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It's like a pencil.
Yeah, it is like a bit like a pencil.
Feels a bit pointy.
Maybe that one was a bit pointy, Shane, that you made there. In fact, some of these you've made are quite pointy.
You want to draw something?
But very effective.
They're pointy, but they felt good on my hands.
Yeah.
Dig 'em in,
Very crusty in here.
Have you, when you go to Thailand, have you had many people use the tools on it?
Yeah.
You have? Okay.
Few, not many.
I haven't really come across that.
Really feeling a lot of grittiness just in here. I don't know if you can feel that, Shane, like a gritty, even slightly uncomfortable kind of feeling.
no idea, just slightly.
So again, just holding that spot gently, letting him breathe into it or groan into it. Getting in a slightly deeper as we warm him up a bit. I didn't want to go in too hard to start with, just because it could have been uncomfortable.
It's a really good tool.
Yeah, it's a really good tool, this one.
Twice it for me.
Back to this. So really just and it jams up often right up around here as well.
It'd do wonders for circulation there, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. Already I'm starting to feel it loosening up quite a bit, and you hear that? We're starting to get some movement in those joints. Click, yeah. Again, that's about as hard as I can possibly go with my thumbs. So that's my limiting factor there. That's why I need to use these tools sometimes. And as I say, this inside of the big toe is particularly bad. So I give him a little rest from the intensity and just again come back, do something else, work along this
The
bit
delta was pulling that across.
as well, just to help out. He's bound.
If this gonna get looser, the big toe is gonna be more straight.
Can you feel this at all, Shane, or is this just too light for you?
Yeah.
It is? Sorry. A lot of people that watch these videos won't understand the Australian humor, you know?
I think they got onto the dark web.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
Yeah. It's a little bit tight in here, Shane.
Oh, yeah, just a little.
Has he got the same thing going on the other foot?
Very similar.
Very similar. Yeah, look, it's curling over too, and yeah, I mean
But that one's definitely worse.
it's a disaster. Yeah, that's a technical term. Similar to a mess, but worse. Oh yeah, see now we're starting to get some sideways movement in that joint, which wasn't really happening before. Again, I think you might need just that little bit more in here. I don't know if you can feel that, Shane. Come right into here. Good breathing though, good breathing. Notice how his breathing's really good. You can see he's experienced at receiving. He's feeling the love, absolutely. This is a more blunt tool. Still effective, but. Just holding that spot. Can you feel this spot here, Shane?
Yep. And that one.
Yeah. And this one too, probably.
Yep.
That's good.
And that one. Oh yes.
So as I said, I didn't think this was going to be just a simple and easy job. But just keep coming back to, again, this area here, I feel like he needs some more work on there. And let him breathe. You can see he's starting to tighten up a bit, so we just let him catch his breath a bit. Relax. Even let him catch his breath a couple times. That can also be moving a lot of energy, so at some stage I might even be thinking about doing some assisted belly breathing or working on his head if a lot of energy's gone to his head.
I felt that last night actually.
Did you? When you were working on
the
yourself?
head,
Yeah.
yeah. So I hit a couple of pressure points and got rid of it, but
Yeah. Again, right in here, got a lot of jammed energy. How's the pressure, Shane? Can you feel it?
Yep.
Yeah.
so what's your prognosis? How long would you reckon to get this half decent? You know, from
I think 2 or 3 hours on each foot would be a pretty good start. I don't think it would be finished, but I think it would be a lot better, and he'd be already look at the movement now in this joint. See how it's starting to, so
big difference.
yeah. Yeah, just that bit of gentle persuasion. And the whole thing's starting to, like if you compare the two joints, feel the difference between his two big toes now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge.
Huge, yeah, huge. Obviously you can see the blood supply there, but you know, the mobility in the joints in particular, in this joint and this joint are now really starting to improve, you know?
The colour.
Yeah, and the color, yeah. So I'm starting to feel quite happy actually about the big toe. I mean, like I say, it's taken a lot. Even with the tools, it's tiring out my hands, you know? And that's also going to be a limiting factor when you got somebody with feet as big and tight as Shane's, you know? And so without tools, this would be just so difficult. It would be virtually impossible to really loosen up his feet. So I'm ready to come on to this toe now. But the other thing that's been so good about it is obviously Shane's willingness and desire to get better. You know what I mean? He's not objecting. He's not. Do you know what I mean?
Enjoys this a bit too, though.
He does enjoy it. You know. You enjoying it, Shane? Yeah. Whereas a lot of people would be like, you know,
That's enough.
that's enough.
Yeah.
Whereas he's just like, just get rid of it.
I think it takes about, at least a few days to realise, oh, okay. I mean, once you
Yeah.
realise that this is all your tension sitting inside.
Yeah, and then you go, well, I don't want it, you know. Put up with a bit of, temporary discomfort to get rid of it. I always say it's not as bad as surgery would be without an anesthetic. Back in the, you look at those guys in the U.S. Civil War and stuff, you know what I mean? Like so much surgery. Yeah.
But I found last night, once you sort of get rid of the initial, once the initials sort of shifted,
Yep.
it's not anywhere near as painful, and it's a lot easier to work on.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's where even like a nice warm foot bath or something
Yeah.
helps first.
Well, I put a lot of heat in there, and it just took a lot of the pain away.
And this one's a lot easier than his big toe. So. Bit tight on the edge here still. But yeah, you got to give him, completely full credit for just really, you know what I mean, breathing in there, groaning in there, letting it go.
Volunteering.
What's that?
Volunteering.
Volunteering. Yeah. He was pretty enthusiastic. Yeah.
That'll teach him.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm doing that side to side joint movement, and that one, I heard that click. This one is a little bit more difficult. And again, pushing my hands to their limits. Getting old.
Do you feel this would be driving a bit of energy up into the head?
Yeah. And that's what I'm also like secondarily aware of is like, are we getting any kind of, too much energy in his head or his belly? And I'm going to have a look at that, but I know. How are you feeling in your head, Shane? You feel like too much energy up there?
No.
You good? Okay. And again, once we've done that difficult big toe,
Yeah.
it's all a lot easier from there.
Yep. Oh, I hit the pressure points, the ones at the bridge of the hip. I
Yep.
was hitting them last night and clearing a bit of stuff, and then the back of the head too. It depends on where the energy's going and stuff.
Yeah.
But do you think that the toes relate to the front and the back of the head, and then the
Yeah.
hands go to the sides?
Yep. So the toes, like around here, is going to relate to, face in the front in particular.
Right.
So, and obviously, eyes and ears are going to be down here and down at the back
So
here.
he should be handsome after this, is it?
Yeah, he's going to be more handsome. Yeah. But yeah, it'll clear up any, trapped energies in his head and stuff like that as well. So again, I can work this band here that's going to add to his Achilles band, and I can even start it from in here. Just gently caressing through there.